Baby Jax, what's on the docket today?
Well, he was just a bouncing Bob. He was moving all over the place.
First day living wild at heart. I can only imagine what you have planned, young man.
Very young man.
Hello and welcome to a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. You are joining us, well, live as we visit with one of two new rescues to come here to the Wildcat Sanctuary. This is baby Jax here. Surely many of you were along for the ride for our cross-country rescue mission. Myself and Alyssa returning with baby Jax and Bobcat Simba. And Olivia, I'm feeling well rested. Feeling like I am ready for another day of, well, living wild at heart alongside the cats.
Yeah,
there
yes.
we go.
I'm glad you're well rested. I mean, you didn't get in even 24 hours ago, about 17 hours ago, if I did my math correctly. So you've been here for only 17 hours, and baby Jax has only been here for 17 hours, but he's looking right at home.
Exactly, and baby Jax, he's got his hands full here. He just had he's got his hands full, and he's got his belly full because he just had his meal for the day. Olivia and I dropped in a few pieces of enrichment. Baby Jax expended some energy. We were able to capture some little clips there, but now it looks like he's time to do some grooming under one of his platforms here in his quarantine yard.
And you know, Judson, I'm super impressed. I was talking to Alyssa this morning, and he's obviously very social. He's very friendly with people. He's also a baby, so he's pretty curious. But he's good about going and doing his own thing, being independent, and then coming up to say hi like we're seeing. And I like seeing that, Jax.
That's right, mister. He says, I'm very much like a bobcat. I'm bold, but also reserved when I need to be.
Exactly.
And we like seeing that, mister.
Wasn't around in here.
Confidence is good. Confidence is good. Oh, boy. Oh, baby Jax. Let's see what's happening in the comments here. Faith Warner, it looks like you have added Jax to your sponsor family, and you saying, "Ah, my adorable baby sponsor, baby Jax."
And Faith also sponsored Simba.
Faith sponsoring both of the cats involved. That's so marvelous of you. Thank you for that, Faith. I know that you have now probably more than a handful of rescued residents here at the Wildcat Sanctuary in your sponsor family. So how awesome is that?
I think 9 total, which is
Whoa,
really
awesome, Faith. Hey, Hinata, thanks for joining us today. Sounds like you've also realized that Noonda is kind of the prime whip cracker here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. She wanted me right back to work. Let's see what else is here. Andrea saying, Judson, why the heck are you at work today? Well, you know, it's I had a good night's rest last night, and you know, as always, there's more stuff to knock out. We're even planning for an on-site event this weekend for some of our legacy members, those who have named the Wildcat Sanctuary in their wills. Well, they're actually going to be joining us for a first ever on-site legacy event happening. Legacy event alongside with me being out for a day. I gotta.
But you did get to sleep in maybe a little bit more this morning. You came in about an hour late, Judson, and it was well deserved.
That's right.
Glad to hear that you're feeling rested.
Let's go over to this other hallway, Olivia, and see what baby Jax is looking at. I think he's curious about his Savannah neighbors across the way. Speaking of neighbors, too, before we go all the way over there, can't go all the way, but little Miss Essey is wondering who is that ball of fur that's moved in across the way.
He's kind of brown like Essey.
I was going to say, Essey giving her little tail twitch there.
Tail twitching. And we got followed, Judson. You might notice another little tail coming out of that den box there.
Okay, did baby Jack's going to run into his den here?
Right. He's following us.
Yeah, I mean, even last night when he came out of his crate, he kind of, you know, if baby Jack wanted to hunker down and stay in his crate for a little bit, that would have been totally fine too. It was a big and long journey, and for him to acclimate on his own pace would be totally acceptable, but him kind of being true to kitten form, maybe a little less cautious than some,
And when I came over here this morning, Judson, he was also in this den box, and I'm impressed because obviously it's a dark space. You can't see into it from the outside bedding, so I'm glad he's exploring even the maybe scarier nooks and crannies of a habitat for some cats.
Well, and of course, Jax was all the rage for some of his Savannah cat neighbors last night, and now it seems like
no Savannah cats.
yeah, they've already gotten over baby Jax. I see Leo in there.
And this is a little bit of a spoiler, Judson. This group's sponsor update is going out probably today.
Okay. So there's some cats that have been merged, and we have some sponsor updates to send. Well, so maybe I have been out of the loop here, and I will make sure that I don't put the carriage in front of the horse. Well, baby Jax is in his den here. You can kind of see baby Jax during his Wild at Heart life here at the sanctuary. It's going to be, his spaces are going to be kind of growing alongside him, so to speak. So with baby Jax being in one of our quarantine yards, certainly a more concentrated space. That is why we have these quarantine yards the way that they are, for cats to be able to have a more smaller space for caretakers to observe them more easily. And then, of course, thinking about Jax eventually being able to graduate to one of our large roaming.
Just on that note, some people were asking, well, why is Jax outside in an outdoor yard and Simba went inside? And this just has to do with their needs and their age. So Jax right now is in an outdoor only. That den box is heated, so he has heated space, lots of shelter, but Jax is very, very excited in the outside. We thought this would be a much more comfortable space for him based off of what we heard. There's obviously grass and plants in that den box that he's loving so much, whereas Simba, we knew that he might need a little bit quieter of a space. And Tammy has said in some of her posts and a couple of the reels that we've posted that we didn't have space for these bobcats. We kind of had to rearrange a few things because nobody else had space either. So these boys, of course, will get permanent habitats. But like you said, Judson, this is just a quarantine space. This is very temporary, but still each boy is offered all the things that every other cat here is offered in their Wild at Heart life. And that would be shelter and food and the specialized care and, of course, those temperature-controlled spaces for shelter.
Olivia, if only that den was see-through.
I
because,
know. I'm talking, and he's in there.
We clip that was placed in there for him, but he's having a blast. I don't know. I don't know if we'll catch another glimpse of him here, but he was pouncing on a pile of straw that he selected from his den there. So Dash is certainly having a blast as cats go. We dropped in a few pieces that he deems the most fun for him.
I have to poke you a little bit because you just called him Dash.
Did I? Dash? What in the world? Jax, Dash. Brain is still a little
oh, no.
minced.
It made me giggle because another, of course, young Wildcat that has been here in quarantine yards at the Wildcat Sanctuary.
And so, Olivia, I see some of the toys that came along in an effort to keep him comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely with bobcats being who they are, Jax might not have stuffed animals for his whole life, but it's good that he's able to have some during this transition time.
Exactly. And I mean, clearly he's not clinging to his stuffed animals by any means. I'm glad that he's having fun in that den box there.
Yeah.
But yeah, as he ages, he'll age out of those stuffed animals, and I think for a little guy like him, have some of that to him as well.
Well, I know it's not too riveting of content here with baby Jax. Maybe we can go hang out with Essey for a moment and maybe talk about some of the other rescued bobcats here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Olivia, why don't you tell Essey's story?
Yeah, well...
And most importantly, also Essey's story includes the type of individualized care we offer our cats. Essey's not so much a people cat.
No, we were just with little baby Jax, who's obviously very social. Essey, if you could hear her right now, is giving a few grumbles to us over here, and Essey was once kept as a pet. I think whether it's Essey's personality or maybe just the result of her former life, she's not the biggest fan of people. Another thing that Essey deals with is some compulsive behaviors such as hair plucking. That's something that we manage and that we're able to help Essey with. In fact, it's why she's in this habitat over here in a quieter section of the sanctuary. But something we see every day, and of course something we just dealt with baby Jackson, of course Simba, is cats that were kept as pets, privately owned in inappropriate situations, and kind of what the fallout is for them. So now Essey is safe at Sanctuary. She's no longer being kept as a quote-unquote pet. She's able to have those natural bobcat behaviors in this beautiful free-roaming habitat, but kind of like you said, Judson, she's an individual. She does a mix of things, so we have her over in this quieter corner, live by herself and just be herself. You know, Essie's a very unique little girl, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
Exactly. No, and Essey, I think that's just truly the thing, Olivia. If we were to go through and describe the personality for all of our cats, the very simple fact of the matter is they all have different personalities, different preferences, and for us to be able to identify those is certainly upon us as caretakers of these cats, because not all of them are the same, and they're caretakers, and we're thankful that we're able to carry that out, and we know that you guys see that within us as well.
But Essey, I like seeing Essey very curious about her new neighbor. It's an extra form of enrichment, Judson.
Yeah. Well, hello, everyone. We were hanging out with Baby Jax for a little bit. He, in his den box, he seems like he's found an awesome little pile of bedding and hay in there that he wants to roll in. Maybe he
does have a full belly. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's right. He just had his lunch as well. But nonetheless, it's been nice to check in with Mr. Jax here. I'm going to go through some comments, make sure I'm not missing on any questions or anything like that.
You know, Judson, since we were just touching on privately owned bobcats and kind of what that looks like for them, I think, Jax here, the story that we hear with bobcats like Essey and many of our other bobcats is that people are getting them as kittens. And Jax is only 4 months old, and one of the first things that he did is he went into that den box last night when you got here, and he peed. He started marking, even at 4 months old. So I think that's a great display of behavior, too, that even a little bobcat like Jax is already showing those big bobcat instincts.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And while you're...
The better.
Yeah, the better. Is, despite you kind of having these, maybe domestic beginnings, you are wild born to be, Jaxers. Well, Olivia, we're really...
I know.
Striking out here. Look at this. Now I get to turn the camera on you. You've been pointing it at me.
I know, I have.
Maybe I think we might just kind of wrap it up here. I would have liked to do a little...
Well, I see Bella. Do you want to stop in with Bella?
Yes, please.
Since we're on a bobcat theme here. I always like saying hi to Miss Bella. She's her new neighbor.
That's right. Miss Iron Bella. And Bella, you are one of the most fierce, serious... and just no-nonsense bobcats that we have here. Bella always puts a smile on my face. Bella's another good example of a bobcat coming from uncertain situations and finding certainty and comfort here in her forever home at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Bella here was dropped off just at the doorstep of a rehabber, a Southwest rehabber. We don't know if she was discovered and kept as a pet. We don't know if she was purchased originally as a pet. But nonetheless, we were contacted to take in Bella, and we said yes. And you might notice, Bella, I'm sure a lot of you recognize Bella from her unique bobcat ears there. You can see she's kind of got the crinkled ear look there, and Bella's hearing is no worse for the wear, but she had... chronic ear infection, or chronic ear mites, if I'm not mistaken, and it caused some tissue damage in her ears. And so she's got a unique little crinkled look there. But like I said, Bella's hearing is no worse for the wear.
It's very iconic. I mean, you can't miss Bella with those crinkled ears. I love them.
That's right. And Bella's also one of our geriatric rescues, and Bella's also one of our independent female bobcats who doesn't want to merge with anyone, and that's totally fine, Miss Bella. We're here to cater to your needs. And another thing that I know Bella for is to stomp around like this and make sure that we're not hiding any chicken pieces anywhere.
Exactly.
We'll circle back over to Jax.
We'll see if he has time for us, but I have a feeling that he's not coming out of that den box for a while.
Let's see here.
And I also want to acknowledge while we're over here, Judson, all the people that have sponsored Jax so far and Simba.
Yeah, thank you for talking about that.
We kind of touched on that, but I don't want that to be missed on this live, that these boys, they just arrived here, and Jax is 4 months old. He has a whole life ahead of him, and Simba's only 6, so he also has a whole life. All of you play a very integral role in the lives of the cats here. You provide the Wild at Heart life that you see for the cats, and by sponsoring, that's a very, very direct way to make an impact on the lives of the cats that you love. So thank you to everyone who has sponsored. If you are interested in sponsoring Jax or Simba, or both, as some of you have very generously done, we'll drop a link in the comments. It's $300 a year for a medium-sized cat, and that goes directly towards their care. These boys will have intake exams. They obviously are already receiving their specialized diets, their specialized habitats, and after quarantine, they'll go into more permanent spaces. So that's very exciting, and thank you to everyone who has given so far.
Yeah, that's always appreciated, and obviously, is it something to support the cats financially, but I often like thinking of the connection that you're able to develop with our cats when you support them on that type of level too. I love animals. When a day comes when I leave the Wildcat Sanctuary and I'm able to support one connected with the cats, and we hope you guys see that too.
And you'll receive a sponsor kit. You'll get updates on that cat, and if you ever want an update outside of the scheduled updates, you can always contact us too. And part of being a sponsor parent is that you don't just make that one-time impact on the cats' lives, but you're very involved in their lives too.
Well, Mr. Jax, if happy that you're doing what you want to do, little dude, and like I said, we heard some fireworks coming from the den box here, some pawing, some pouncing, but I have a suspicion that pawing and pouncing has turned into some snoozing.
Yes.
We caught Jax's caretakers on our way in for our live post. They had mentioned last night, they made a comment on that little pot belly Mr. Jax has, and so he had a big meal today. We just saw him doing some grooming. Olivia and I got him to play some ritual. Well, he's just enjoying his morning, so we're going to let him do that.
And Simba is inside also having quiet time. I peeked in on him just before this live, Judson, and he was sleeping in his crate. So I thought it was best we just give him some time to decompress, and you all will be seeing updates on Simba too.
Well, that's exactly right. That's one thing too about these new rescues, that even a cat like baby Jax here, who we know is a little bit more social, versus Simba, who we know is a little less social, it still comes with a little bit of an adjustment period. And it wouldn't be living wild at heart at the Wildcat Sanctuary if we didn't acknowledge that and give those cats that adjustment period. So thank you all for your patience when it comes to kind of meeting them in earnest and seeing them on live post, seeing them in photos, is for us to being able to kind of set them out on the, maybe taking a step forward with the right foot forward. Exactly. And you guys having that level of patience means a lot to us.
Essey.
Yeah, Essey's doing. She says, "I'm scratching. I'm rubbing. What do you want from me?" All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much again for tuning in to today's live post. And please, please, please stay close as we continue to talk about baby Jax and Simba. And then, of course, keep on posting and spending time with the cats that you already know and love and support, the 140 other rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary.
Exactly. But what a fun and exciting time, Judson. It's always exciting to know that this is the first day of the rest of their lives here at the sanctuary.
That's so exciting to think. That was the first thing I said to Jax was, "Jax, what are you going to do on your first day of living wild at heart?"
It's going to be something like what Essey's showing off here.
Yeah, it's probably a similar image of what's happening in that den box, what we're seeing with Essey here. All right, everyone, thanks again, and we will see you back here tomorrow for another live post at the Wildcat Sanctuary.
Bye, everyone.